Hi there. Just thought I'd give a quick little breakdown of the effect we used on the escape key video. So here we are in Resolve. So the basis of it is you have the cutout of the character and you want a layer of the character over top, and the one underneath is where you're going to do all your effects. So that's this layer. Let's go to the Fusion page. And here's what our node tree looks like. So we started with the ripples node. This is I built this kind of backwards, sort of. We started with fast noise originally. And in our fast noise, you can see I just kind of like messed around with the gradient here. And with fast noise, do like just mess around with the things in here. You can mess around with the detail, get like a lot more detailed or like more kind of splotchy like this. Some of these that have keyframe information, these are getting controlled by the audio itself actually. So those, I don't know if I can even, I can't even move those right now. But as you can see, as I scrub through, it's kind of, it'll do a more smooth when you're actually playing through it, but it's sort of cached. It'll be a lot smoother once it's all rendered out. But that kind of movement that you get from the ripples, or from the fast noise. And the ripples, I'm using ripples to morph and deform the overall outline of the shape. You can kind of see here it's a little bit like puffed out here. And the ripples is just exactly what it says. It's like water effects. Instead of having it like a series of circles, it's more like just a turbulence effect. You can see the ripple keyframes just like alternating the frequency between like full and nothing, basically. Random sort of breathing motion. So that mixed with the fast noise that's like constantly changing how the colors mix together is a really cool effect, especially when it's behind your cutout already. So you just see the very edge of it, basically. And then the cool stuff, our transform, we actually have the size of it being controlled by our audio. And in this example, I'm only using the low frequencies, 20 to 300 hertz. If you really wanted to get deep with it, at the track level, you could separate just your kick and your bass. So there's no extra rumble causing this to go crazy. And then you could like use separate bespoke tracks for different control effects. I may do that for the next one, but hindsight, you know? Anyway, but that's the basic gist of what we're doing with a lot of these things to control them with the music. So for example, size, how you go through and do this. The amplitude offset is 1 because we want it to stay at 1 for the beginning. Like 1 is technically 0. So like when nothing is happening, it will stay at 1. And then the amplitude scale is how much it's affected by the audio. So at maximum, I only want it to be 1.25. So just add these together. That's kind of how you get through here. And there's different modes you can mess around with these. I believe this is standard in Davinci. How you go about doing this is like right click on a slider, modify width, modifiers, audio wave. When you do that, that'll show up in your modifiers tab. You can choose your wave file. It has to be a 16-bit signed wave though, which you can get in Audacity. Just load your thing into Audacity and export as a 16-bit. And that should be good. That should get you going. Xglow, I think this is actually from the Reactor plugin set. It's like a massive open source library of effects and things that people have built for Resolve that you can just download. I'll try to include a link in the description below where you can find those things. This one, same kind of deal. We're just modifying the gain, which is like how shiny this is, with our music. Unsigned average, again, the low things. And in this case, baseline is 0, and the amplitude scale goes all the way up to 2, even though with an unsigned average, it's a little bit more consistent. So you can play with this number. When it's at 2, the actual maximum it'll ever reach is like 1.2, 1.5, somewhere like in the middle, just slightly above the middle maybe. But it will very rarely ever hit actually 2. At least that's what it seems like. I'm still pretty new at all this, but that's what it seems like. The part that really got me confused was what order to put these in. That took the most experimentation. If you're stuck, that's kind of what you got to do, is just experiment what order these go in to make it do what you want. Because the cutout, I didn't have a pure white one. I'm using like sort of a mask technique, I guess, here. So our media in is literally just, yeah, so that's our media in. It's just the cutout of the character. What I'm doing with the brightness and contrast is turning it completely white. Just brightness all the way up. So if you plug this into fast noise, because the fast noise by itself, if we do this, yeah, this is what the fast noise is actually doing. If we plug in brightness and contrast, there we go. Gray box to blue arrow. Sometimes it's messy, it's weird. I'm sure it makes a load of sense. I'm not wrapping my head around it yet. That is doing what I want it to do. It's only showing the effect on the pure white cutout. Yeah. I don't know if this will actually play very well. We can kind of scrub through. I'll put a little clip of the video here to show you the finished product, because I can't do it in real time here. My computer is too old and too slow. But if you're looking to do something like this, I hope this was helpful. I hope you experiment and make something cool. See you next time.